This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders.
To kick off for the Raiders.
And we are underway here in Las Vegas. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. First carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Made by Jonathan.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside line. Backers are guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback. They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On second down, here's Burrow. Slant pass to Bull. The 40. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and oh so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
First and
a big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. First and goal. Now it's Burrow. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, but it'll be second and goal.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. On 1st and 10, Love. Jesse Bates. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Julio Jones. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25.
Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught inside the 25. You got to feel it. He will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Big play there. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. I don't think you can get any more efficient or whatever word you want to use in that, man. One play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard.
Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people go, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction. There, brings up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in, or couldn't hang on third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Love from the gun. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 55 yards. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Henry Ruggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He's back to throw here to start the drive. Max Crosby. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And he's going to go down again.
Joe Burrow is sacked. A loss of 8 yards.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Here's Matt Bosher now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Love. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. He's got it with the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Vegas. 54 yards. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. Off the play fake, Love. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Or are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. A slant to Jones. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Complete.
Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far. Fun to watch.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. I feel like the offense coordinator's a little bit ahead of the defensive guys, right?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
1st and 10.
First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
And 10 yards to go.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Burrow's pass intended for time.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Makes the score Bengals 24.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Being not going to go to the post and take the turn.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just ball.
Either
not
way.
the tie. But yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
6-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
1st down, going to the air with Love. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Henry Ruggs doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. Play fake. Here's Love. Being chased out left. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning the... Extra few inches, and the 2-point attempt is turned aside. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time,
Julio Jones, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Julio Jones doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Their own 29-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Love now to pass on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Love. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Got his connection complete to Ruggs. And he's going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. This is caught inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Henry Ruggs. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. As his guys are able to regain the lead. The Raiders again will come to the line and go for 2. On play action. Love to throw. Rolling to his left. And that is caught for the 2 points. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Dixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Left side completion to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Now Burrow, and he fires one that's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. He's at the 50, 30, the 20.
Get off the field.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
To throw now, here's Love. And this is going to be caught. It's good. two more. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that two-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalize a little bit on top.
And this carries into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat looks.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Max Crosby in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And got his man complete past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Henry runs an even 90 yards, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Extra point just does sneak over the bar, and that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. They used to call it in the West Coast offense the long handoff. Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
To Joe Mixon.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
And it's 3rd down.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Burrow will throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Max Crosby in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And what could he possibly be thinking? He just took the fair catch at the 1-yard line. Major mistake.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Out of his end zone. Love. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. He's got a man. Complete. 20. 10.
This is 20.
And he is in. Touchdown. Raiders. Henry Ruggs. 99 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
And he was stepped out of bounds. Oh, what a mistake there. And the two-point try will be unsuccessful. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach, everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
The 25-yard line.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a first down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Max Crosby in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes one extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. On the return is Williams. The Bengals drive about to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. So we've reached halftime, and we now proceed to the start of the second half.
Bengals 33.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Raiders take over 1st and 10.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key.
That's caught at the 25. That's what it is. Take us into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Rico Gafford, 76 yards. And the silver and black continue to roll. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And this is going to be caught. Not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Cincinnati.
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Mixon on the carry.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play.
And the Raiders have got him. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous.
Now loses the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
That's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Dancing to his left. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That puts him in excellent position. 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
3-yard line.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run. And
touchdown! Darren Waller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
There we go now as they will again try for 2. Play action this time with Love. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Max Crosby in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Burrow looking to pass. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Sacked. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Henry Ruggs and the Raiders set to go back to work. And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're...
For a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Will Disley, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Here's Burrow. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Corey Littleton leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. This throw caught left side. They're able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
Do you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Working out of the gun. Love. He's going to float this one deep right side. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 51 yards. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Carl Lawson. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. And it's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are pouring it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And now once again, the Raiders are going to go for 2. Love, they go play action now. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
5-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Second down, here's Burrow. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Now it's Burrow. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it.
Recovered by the kicking team.
Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play.
And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Von Bell. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or is this guy...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. J.J. Watt that time able to do what he does best, and that's sack the quarterback. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And the pressure gets to him again.
Joe Burrow sacked.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Burrow's pass, intended for T. Higgins. Incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
10 at their own 20-yard.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team. Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, it hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. A second down throw for Love. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Love. Oh, my goodness, another interception. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Point after, right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. Love back to it here after the pick six. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, are you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Oh, now Miller slow in getting up. He's still down on the ground. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He finds his running back, Mixon, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On second down, Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on third down is Burrow. His throw caught at about the 5. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Now the extra point.
Point after.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their... And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off around the 27. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. On play action, love to throw. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That's taken in by Higgins. The 40, the 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Extra point attempt here still to come. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Their own 28-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, what?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Von Bell. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. There's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
At the 40-yard line.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And the Raiders have got him. Joe Burrow sacked. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team.
Julio Jones all alone. Past the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
You know they
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Buying time to his left. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. And they got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Las Vegas, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll have another home date next week as the Indianapolis Colts come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.